Hey guys, welcome back from the break. Okay, now, so in the last part one, we have seen multiple ways of connecting using the PEM and PPK and other various options. Now, I want to show you one more option of connecting. So here, if you click on this instance and then if you hit on connect, so what we've seen here is we have seen EC2 instance connect, we have seen SSH client, and then we have seen EC2 serial console. The error why we are getting this, you guys know that right now the instance type is t2.micro. I had changed it to M5, I believe, because there are certain instance types only supports the EC2 serial console with the Nitro based. So that's what we demonstrated in last video, and then I changed the instance back. So right now t2.micro, it's in free tier. Now there is one more thing called Session Manager. So I want to quickly talk about this Session Manager also. This is also very important. So as the workshop moves forward, we will use Session Manager as well in the future. Now, what is this Session Manager? Yes, as you can see, we have 1, 2, 3. There are 3 options from the browser you can connect, and also there is a 4th option called Session Manager where you can connect to the instance. Now, now here it shows that, just give me a minute. Okay, cool. Now, if you see this, it shows that there is some issues. We were not able to connect your instance, and it's giving couple of information, and we are going to see why we are not able to have this connect button enabled. Okay, so in a nutshell, what we are going to do is there is something called in IAM. There is a concept. If you type IAM, okay, so let me right click and open link in new tab. So if you hit on IAM, okay, now there is something called roles. Okay, so I'm just hitting on roles here, and I'm going to click on create role and just choose AWS service, and then use cases, allow EC2 instance to call AWS services on your behalf, and then just hit on next. Now here there is something called SSM. Just type SSM and hit enter. Just see you getting something called Amazon SSM full access. Okay, so you need to select this policy name, okay, for the role which you are creating. So click on that, Amazon SSM full access, then you click on next, and then give some name like this, Session Manager custom role, and then if you scroll down, it will tell you that this is the JSON policy document, and then if you scroll down, it is showing like for this role, the role which we are creating, for this role, this policy is being added, Amazon SSM full access. Now just click on create role. So the role is created. The role name is Session Manager custom role. Now scroll down, yeah, so now if you type Session Manager, yeah, so we got this. Okay, if you click on this, so you're seeing this permission is there, which is well good. Now I'm going back to the first tab. Again, I'm not going so deep with this IAM and rules. That is not the aim of this workshop. So if you want, please go and check my other courses, the basics of everything. Okay, cool. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on instant state, but before you click on this, I want to make sure that you analyze this. Okay, just click on the instance, and there is something called IAM role here. See this? There is something called IAM role, which is empty now. There is no role has been attached to this particular instance. Now I want you to feel that when you click on actions, and then when you click on security and click on modify IAM role, and here it says select an IAM role to attach to your instance, or create a new role if you haven't created any. Now if you remember, we already created a role and we assigned a policy onto that role. The policy is something about SSM. Okay, so when you click on this, so there is something called, yeah. So now if you see, click on this, and then the one which we created now, it shows Session Manager custom role. It's already present right now. So you click on this, and and there is another way. You can click on create new IAM role, which eventually go to this window. Okay, even if you click on this window, it will go to the new tab, and that will go to the same IAM role where we had created before. Okay, it's all same window. So now let me close everything. Okay, cool. Now I've selected this one. Now if you click on update IAM role, what happens is the role will get updated, and you can wait for 2 to 5 minutes maximum. And then if you click on this, then you click on connect, this session manager, you will not get this exclamation mark. Okay, so let's wait for 2 to 3 minutes, or maybe maximum 5 minutes. That's what I have observed. Let's see. Okay, so just want to tell you the updates. I waited for 5 to say 6 or 7 minutes. I'm still not able to connect. So even though I have modified the role, if you go back, and then if you see this IAM role, let me control F, just type IAM. Yeah. So even though I've just given the IAM role which we created, Session Manager custom role, and I waited for 5 to 10 minutes, I'm still not able to get the Session Manager. So what I'm going to do here is, I'm going to click on instance state, and I'm going to click on reboot instance. So just want to give a try about that. Let's see how this works. Okay, now I have rebooted the instance, as you know, by just clicking on it. Now I'm going to click on connect. Now I'm going to click on session manager. Okay, now what we have seen here is, even though on the running instance, if you give the modify IAM role, it might work, but it had worked for me before. I have given some 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or sometimes it works in 15 minutes or 20 minutes. But immediately, if you want that to happen, I would suggest just go ahead here, and then click on instance state, and just click on reboot instance. Okay, so that is the easy way of doing it. So click on connect now. So in the earlier, we have seen EC2 instance connect. We have used SSH client and other OpenSSL tools, and then EC2 serial console. Now session manager. Now what is a session manager? Session manager, if you click on connect, okay, how this got enabled, that is what you should understand. How this got enabled, because we have created the IAM role and we have attached it. Actions, security, modify IAM role. If you remember, we have added this here. That is why your session manager option got enabled. So click on connect. So when you click on connect, see, it is working. Yeah, it's perfect. Cool. Now you found another way of doing this. Now what is the advantage of doing this way? Yeah, say for example, before do that, I want to do a quick research on this. Say actions, security, modify IAM role. I don't want any role. I'm going back to the previous one. Okay, so I'm going to detach it. So when you detach it, now if you click on it, and then if you search for controller for IAM role, so it's became empty. It's became null again. Now if you hit on connect, you should never get anything. Just click on connect. Let's see what happens. See, your session has been terminated for the following reasons, blah 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 blah. The same error because we have detached the IAM role. Okay, now after a couple of seconds or couple of minutes, your screen will go back to the previous error message. Okay, now the thing is, say for example, if you want to reboot the instance, just click on reboot. Now the instance will be rebooted. Okay, so just give a minute or two, and then if you hit on connect, so again you're getting the same error, the session manager. Now what we understood is the session manager works here because of the roles. Always remember, if you want to connect through the session manager, you have to have that particular role. When I say role, basically I'm talking about this policy here. Okay, so if you click on IAM, okay, let me go back to IAM here. If you go back and then click on roles, so I'm talking about, I'm sorry, not this roles, I'm talking about the one which we created, session manager custom role. Inside this role, I'm talking about main this policy. So create a role and attach this particular policy. Now then your session manager will work. Okay, perfect. Now let's do another research on this. Yeah. Now say for example, what I'm going to do here is, so if you click on this, and then if you click on security, there is something called security groups. If you see the security group here, and it shows it's open to 22 port. So if you remember putty, okay, if the okay, if you see the putty, it's connecting through 22 port. So that's why the same port here. So that's why it's connecting to the SSH. SSH is always connects to the port number 22. Okay. Now, what is the understanding of the security group? Inbound rules means, okay, this is an instance, and inbound rules means whatever incoming connection from outside to this instance. So right now, what is my IP address? If you want to see my IP address, obviously you can go to the CMD. Okay, then you can type IP config. Yeah. So okay, sorry guys, my mouse got fall down. Just give me a minute. Okay, cool. Now if you see my IP address, this is my private IP address 192.168.0.100. Okay, and if you want to see my public IP address, what you can do here is, the best way would be, you can always Google it, what is my public IP. So if you do that, yeah, the first link would work. What is my IP? And this is my public IP, 49.206.133.141. Now, the next thing is, the inbound rules. Yeah, we're allowing 22 port on the TCP protocol from the source 0.0.0.0.0/0 means from all the IPs. From all the IPs, they can access to this machine. They can SSH into this machine. Now, say for example, my IP is this one, 49.206.133.141. I'm just copying this. Yeah, it is copied. This is my public IP. Yeah, I mean, if you want to know more about this public IP or private IP, I would suggest you to have a quick read about on any documents. Yeah, or you can search my previous videos about this, which have explained all the basics things. Okay, cool. Now I've copied the public IP. Now say for example, I'm coming here, and this is my security group for this instance, and so I'm clicking on the security group. Now inbound rules is this one. Yeah, sources from everywhere. Edit inbound rules. Now here what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a rule here, and I'm going to type SSH. Okay, and I'm going to give custom, and I'm going to give only this IP. I'm going to delete the previous one. So when you say this is my IP 141, you can ask me, Samir, what is after 141? That is a /32. Okay, /32 is nothing but it is defined in a CIDR notation. Okay, classless interclass domain. So whenever you're saying any IP, so it'll at the end it will say /32, which means it is a 8-bit. This is 8, 16. Then another 8, so total it comes to 32. So that's why they call it as a /32 when you're saying any IP in a CIDR format. Okay, cool. Now what I have done here is only I can access this machine, okay, from this IP. So if you open a notepad, just to make sure, so this is my current public IP. See this, yeah, this is my current public IP, and I'm just sitting on save rules. Cool. Now if I'm going back to my EC2 instance, and I'm going to my instances, this is a running instance, and I'm clicking on connect. Okay, now I'm clicking on say for example, just click on connect, the EC2 instance connect. It will establish the connection, because the public IP which I'm having currently, this is my public IP. See this, if you refresh it, it will not change until or unless you are disconnecting the current internet connection, and you're moving, or if you're restarting the laptop, something like that, which we will see. Okay, we are unable to make sure your instance network connect correctly the EC. For more, click check task 1 under the setup EC. Okay, AWS documentation. Perfect. Let's see what is this. Why are we getting this? Let me see. No, we don't have session manager. Okay, this is, we don't have it. Now our only option is SSH client. So let's go with the SSH client. Yeah, so I'm copying the public IP. Let me open putty, and then this is which key pair? This is the PEM key pair, right? So PEM will not work with the putty. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open to PowerShell. I'm going to go to downloads folder where I have my key. So I'm gonna copy this entire syntax, and I'm gonna paste it, enter. Okay, yes. Okay, so this one is working, yeah, but why the EC2 instance connect is not working, that we need to check. Is it working because we have changed the security group? Let's analyze it. Okay, so if I click on this, then let me go to the security here. Let me find out. Okay, 1 minute. Okay, now if you click on security, okay, this is my security group. Okay, this is my inbound rules which I have changed to current public IP. Now I'm right clicking on it, open in a new tab. Okay, so now this is my security group, and I'm gonna click on edit inbound rules. And now I'm going back to the same old one, okay, wherein from any IP I can connect to the SSH. So let me save it. I've saved it. I'm coming back to my instance. I'm just refreshing the screen, and I'm clicking on connect, and then clicking on connect. Let's see what happens. So it is working. That's strange. That is one finding which we saw right now. So if you go back again, and then if you go to security groups, just click on edit inbound rules, and then if you do it, and if you see only from my IP, if you click on my IP, it will automatically come up. You don't need to copy and paste it also. Okay, so if you do that, so 49.206.133, same thing, it comes up. Okay, if you choose my IP, if you save rules, so what we're going to see is, again, the connection should not happen. So let me refresh it. Let me hit connect, and then EC2 instance connect. Let me hit on connect. Let's see what happens now. Make sure that your instant network settings are configured correctly for EC2. For more information, check task 1 under the setup EC2 connect AWS documentation. Wow. Okay, so that is one finding which we saw it. Okay, so let's do this way. Now we don't need EC2 instance connect. Okay, and we can connect using the PowerShell because we are in current public IP same. Now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to stop my wireless connection. and then I've stopped my wireless connection, and I'm gonna connect to my hotspot. Yeah, so when you see my hotspot, yeah, DevOps, just click on connect. Now let's see what is my public IP changes or not. Now it might take a second or minute to change it. Okay, now if you see my current public IP is this one. Okay, so I think I've pasted in the notepad, so changed to this one right now. So see, it was 49 series, now it is 27 series. Now the problem here is, if you see the security group, okay, I think we put it back. Okay, it is here. It can accept only from this source, but right now my public IP is changed. Okay, now if you go to this and then if you type this command again, okay, this is up arrow. If you type the up arrow, you'll get the previous command. If you hit enter, it will scold you. It will say, boss, no, because the IP where you have right now, the public IP, which is 27 series, 27.59, it is not approved IP, because the approved IP is from 49.206, but right now that IP is gone. So that is, now see, it says unable to connect to, connection timed out on port 22. Okay, you need to understand this very clear. If you click on edit and bound rules, okay, just close this, and if you type my IP, you will get okay, let's do one thing. The best way is click on add rule, just type SSH, okay, and then click on my IP. Maybe it's not refreshing. Let me click on cancel. Inbound rules, edit inbound rules. Okay, let me log out 1 minute. Okay, I'm logging back in. Going back to EC2. Now going back to where were we? Instance running. And there is a security groups. So clicking on security groups. And this is my security group. Edit inbound rules. Click on add rule. Let's see whether it is changed or not. If it's not changed, we will put it manually, no problem. My IP, yeah, it is changed now, see. So click on delete the previous one and click on save rules. Now we have approved that, okay, from this IP address, this guy can connect to my EC2 instance on this port number 22. Now that is what it's going to happen here, not here. This is what it's going to happen here. So if you up arrow, so SSH -I, and this is my key pair, my private key, and I'm connecting to this machine. Yeah, if you hit enter, now it should work. So if you hit enter, okay, am I connecting to the right IP address? We need to check that as well. EC255461 on 40. Okay, 1 minute. So if I go for inbound rules, so SSH TCP, okay, this is the IP, perfect. So let me go back to instances, and then this one, let me click on connect just to make sure. Okay, 140.33, yes, correct. Okay, control C. I think it got stuck or something. Let me close it. I'm opening up a new one, Windows PowerShell, and then I'm going to downloads folder. Okay, and that is where I have my key there. So I'm copying this, right click, paste, enter. Okay, see, it's logged in. So I'm in the EC2 user with the instance machine of the private IP of the instance. So this is how you have to work with the security groups. So security groups is very important in the future. Now let me show you one more thing. So in the security group, I'm right clicking on it. I'm sorry. Right click, open link in new tab. So when you do that, so inbound rules, so currently we are allowing only this from this public IP. Okay, obviously if my network changes, the public IP will change. So that's what I'm gonna do. So I wanna come out of my hotspot, and I'm gonna connect to my Wi-Fi. Yeah. Now it is connected to my Wi-Fi now. Now if you see what is my public IP, if you refresh it, again the public IP will change. Again it's gone to, I think, the old one maybe, or is it yeah, it's gone to the old one. See this, 49.206.133.141. Okay, so I hope you got some understanding about the security groups. Okay, now you can ask me, Sumit, what do you mean by outbound rules? Outbound rules, you don't need to worry. Outbound rules is from the instance machine where and all it can connect. So it can connect to everywhere on all the protocol, on all the port numbers. Okay, but we have to worry about mainly on inbound rules. Now let's see the other one. Okay, say for example, right click, I'm opening the security groups again. Okay, now in the security groups, again I'm clicking on edit inbound rules, and now I don't want SSH also. I'm gonna delete. There is no inbound rules, nothing. So what will happen if you don't have any inbound rules? It's empty. And now obviously this instance is connected to this security group. Okay, now if you refresh your screen, okay, and then if you scroll down, you will not be having any inbound rules at all. Okay, 1 minute, refresh my screen here. See this? And if you go to security here, see, you will not be having anything, no rules to display, which means we will not be able to connect to the machine at all. So if you see this, if I'm clicking on connect here, okay, if you click on EC2 instance connect, click on connect, let's see what happens. See, it's not working. This is one thing. Now if you click on session manager, obviously did we add roles after that? Let me search for it. If got IAM roles, no, we don't have any IAM role. It's empty. Okay, so forget about that part now. Let me come back to SSH client, and I'm going back to the PowerShell. Okay, I'm going back to the PowerShell, and then copying this, and then okay, not here, sorry, I have to go to the downloads folder because my key file is there, cd downloads folder. And then right click, hit enter. Okay, so as expected, because we did not open any kind of inbound rules, so it will not allow. You will get a timeout error or connection timed out. Yeah, connection timed out error you are getting. So that is fine. Now I want to try one more thing here. So what is that one more thing? Now let me add a role. Okay, I'm just sitting on actions, and then security, and modify IAM role, and then here I'm gonna add my session manager custom role, update IAM role. Yeah, and then I'm gonna just click on actions, instance state, and then just hit on reboot instance to make it fast. So let's see what happens this time, whether the session manager role is working or not. Okay, if you hit on connect, you have to give it a minute. Okay. Now I have given the, we have added the IAM role. You can see Control F, just type IAM. You will get IAM role. Yes, it is mapped. It is attached to this instance. Now I'm going to click on connect. Oh, okay. See this? It's connected. It's connected in the sense we are getting this option enable. Even if you go here, if you go to the security groups, and then see in the security groups, we do not have any inbound rules added yet. It's empty. But still, you have added the role with the SSMParameter permissions, and then click on connect, and then click on connect. Let's see what happens now. Even you don't have inbound rule added in the security group. See, it is connected. Now, this is the beauty of the roles. This is what I want to explain to you with all these various experiment. You don't need to give any inbound rules for particular 22 port or for particular IP address sets where they can communicate, where they can SSH. If they have a proper console access, and then you can attach the role to that particular instances, they can connect to the session manager. They can connect to the instance using the session manager. So this is the most secured way of doing this, connecting to the machine. Most of the companies would be having this actually. So if you can do that, sudo mash, see, I logged in now. Yep. So this is what the most important thing. So I hope you guys have captured whatever we have done for the last 31 minutes. So in the next workshop, which is going to be part 3, we will talk about the VPC creation, and we will talk about what is a default VPC which we have it, the one which AWS is providing, and we'll talk about some mappings and how it is done, couple of things we'll talk about it. And then we will create a new VPC subnets, and then we will launch an instance, and then we'll work on it. It would get interesting. But please make sure that whatever I have done, just follow the same thing. Just do your hands-on and make sure that it goes to your subconscious mind, so that when someone asks you on your interview, the answer would automatically come up. Yeah, so just do that repeatedly. So thank you guys. Let's take a break and come back and start our part 3 session. Yeah, thank you.